Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition on Xbox One and PS4. Licensed to ill. No, I'm just kidding, Beastie Boys. Don't sue me. You gotta use that 10-second introduction there. Because you will not sleep. It's the action RPG from Blizzard that finally comes to home consoles and gives you couch co-op and everything else in between. It's what you've been waiting for as an action RPG fan. The one thing I will say in terms of my expectations as a veteran Diablo and Diablo 2 player is I had no expectations of this game, honestly. And let me tell you why. As a veteran player between 1 and 2, I'm used to the slower pace. I'm used to going through the depths of hell in these randomly generated dungeons, working to get my equipment, just hoping that I'll find within the next 3 hours that significant piece of weapon, armor, boots, ring, anything that will get me over the top so I can work my way to fight Diablo, and Baal, and Mephisto, and all these other hordes of hell that surround Diablo in its deep, darkened caverns and all these other spaces. Diablo 3 changes it up a little bit. The way that it ends up doing that, as you see in this graphical style on the video, is it becomes more like World of Warcraft in the art style. It becomes more faster paced, like an arcadey version. It changes Diablo 1 and 2, changes the formula, and puts it on its head, and makes it scream for mercy. A lot of other veteran players may not feel the same way, and they think that Diablo 1 and 2 was fantastic, and that Diablo 3 is just an injustice, and it's doing the game in all the wrong ways. The reason I think that this is a little bit misconcepted is because it's changed my adaptation of this game altogether. I was going into Diablo 3 with almost no expectations. With the chances of me being a veteran Diablo player and liking this game, it wasn't very good. But as I continued to play, as I continued to give this game a chance, I realized something special. That the formula for Diablo 3, the faster pace, being able to get new equipment every seemingly 15 minutes, to be able to continually build my character, allowed me to continue and want to press on for hours and hours and hours at a time to just get this better equipment and feel like I have a sense of accomplishment that I've never had before. If that's a way that you say this is how you dumb down the experience, then I have to tell all of these guys, these veteran Diablo players, that I think everything that they think about right now, they need to try this game again, especially with the Ultimate Evil Edition, because this game on console is way better than anything you're going to get on PC, because it's convenient. You don't always have to be online to play this game, unlike the PC counterpart. You don't always have to check in. You got couch co-op. You're able to play with your friends at any time, online or offline, and do whatever the hell you feel like doing. This game's got about 10 different difficulty levels to allow you to change the pace at any time too, and you can feel free to change the difficulty at any time, which is nice. So this really gives you the ultimate Diablo experience in all the best ways, and it's seemingly a lot different from the other counterparts of Diablo because you can use any items at any time too. You're no longer committed when you open up your inventory whatever you can hold in your belt, or the significant 25 item spaces that was about in Diablo 1 and 2. You can hold about 60 items, and all of your items don't carry multiple spaces, like I remember in Resident Evil, those action games that if you had the rocket launcher, it would take up 4 spaces in your inventory. Well, similar with the old Diablo games, if you had a great sword or something like that, it would take 4 or 5 spaces. Here, it only takes 1. So you don't have to always go back to Tristan to try to sell your equipment, because you're not always having to think about all of that. It just carries 1 space at a time, which allows you to always stay in the action. And the different part about Diablo 3 and the Ultimate Evil Edition, in terms of all of that, and the whole Diablo 3 experience, is the combo system. Now you may see from time to time in this gameplay, as I'm going around, I'm killing enemies, and a combo system starts to start. And it keeps track of all of your kills. As you keep on going, usually 10 at a time, you start with the massacre and then it builds on, you get extra experience and extra gold. So the incentive to try to go out there and whoop some ass really fast to get extra experience is always there. And it furthermore keeps you into the gameplay system. Now when I think about that in terms of the experiences that I had, like I mentioned, the slower paced, the feeling of uneasiness at times, and just going through the dank dark caverns. Was Diablo ever going to have that feel again? You know, it just goes from action adventure so much to fast paced. Does it really kill the Diablo feel? Does it really change everything that you ever know about it? And can you ever grow to love this game as much as you could before? And let me tell you, all of the instances of Diablo is still there, and it's better than ever. Diablo also benefits from a fantastic loot system. No longer will you have to be able to depend on just picking up equipment and thinking, hey, is this the right one that I can use? Can I even use this for my character? Because I can't seem to find what I want. That's no longer the case. You're never going to be running around if you're using a Crusader, a Wizard, a Monk, Barbarian, any of these characters. When an enemy drops an item, most likely, almost always, I'd find 90% of the time that it's for your character. And the Loot 2.0 system allows you to share loot. So you're not forced to having one of your players go ahead and take your gold, take your items. The folks at Blizzard did a good job of being able to have this stuff coordinated. So everybody gets their own separate drops, which allows all of the confrontations, unless you're playing in the battle mode, to be friendly, and everybody's going to get good equipment, and everybody's going to be able to do what they want. You may think this may turn the game to be a little bit easier for you, but it really isn't, because with the 10 difficulty levels it scales up quickly, and you will certainly find that while at the very beginning of the game it may be a little bit easier than you're expecting, as soon as you get to the point where you can unlock the difficulties, that stuff changes rather quickly and for the best. You start with normal, hard, and expert. You can't get to master until after you beat Act 4. When you get into master, things start to get ridiculous. This is a look of Act 5. If you've noticed throughout the gameplay, the attack numbers for the healing in green, the damage in red, or the white and yellow critical hits, you've noticed that they've continued to grow, and you've noticed that my level has changed significantly in terms of this game. It's all part of the just incredible experience that you have. In terms of all of that, is the kill counters just get insane, and the emphasis of action is everything that you want. In terms of the post-game content that you have after you get to the 5 acts, it's something pretty cool too, because in the end, you get to level 60, I believe it is, and then it carries over into the Paragon levels, which allow you to further level up your character in adventure mode. Adventure mode pretty much takes you back to where you were, but you get to fight the bosses again in order to get blood shards, and what the blood shards do, which allow you to get further legendary equipment that you would no longer be able to use in other difficulties because it just won't drop. So the incentive to play on the harder difficulties is there, because you're only going to get the best equipment by playing on the Torment difficulty and beyond. Let me tell you, Torment is exactly what it is. Because when you're playing the damn game and you do about 6 million damage to a character and you only see 25% of their health bar gone, it gets pretty daunting. Especially when enemies surround you at all angles. Now, you can combat this because in Diablo 1 and 2, you were stuck to a specific skill tree. And that made a nightmare in terms of Diablo 3, because if it used that same formula, you just wouldn't be able to survive. Diablo 3, all of your skills are available as soon as you hit the right level to unlock them. I didn't know how I felt about this at the very beginning, because you think you could use anything and just be a complete badass, but in Diablo 3 it's ultimately necessary, because you're going to have to change your tactics and strategy on the fly. So it ultimately ends up being great, because you'll find out which combinations work for you the best, depending on what weapon, what armor you're using, or if you're in the right situation, you'll always be able to think on your feet and figure out what the hell you need to do next in order to get through this daunting situation. That makes Diablo 3 great. So how do you feel about the couch co-op? In terms of that, the PC is always the better platform in terms of the graphics and all of that, but just being able to pick up and play 4 controllers, but have your friends bring over some controllers. They can sign into their profile and they can leave right where they left off on their other characters, so you guys can join in no matter what at the same time, which is definitely a fun experience. Best part about all of this too is if you're one of these guys that is just going to hop in and be casual, maybe this isn't for me, but just for the completely casual players, you can hop in and you're going to get equipment that's going to fall right at your level even when you're playing with your friends, so you always have something to do. And if you really want to go ahead and level up quickly and just hop in and out, you can do that as well. I really recommend that you go ahead and play through the entire game and enjoy it, and then as soon as you're done, I would hop online. That's what I'm going to end up doing, is this is mostly a single player review, but in all of the aspects, in terms of that, as you see this large kill counter going on and on, it's unbelievable the amount of action that you're going to go ahead and have to face. So the fact that Diablo 3 builds into the combo system, the fact that you have your skills available to you at any time, the fact that you can get your items quicker, and you just have a more seamless experience with couch co-op and hop right in and have Reaper of Souls expansion and everything else that the PC players didn't have when this game first came out. You can quite frankly say, if you're a PC player, that Diablo 3 felt like a beta. If you're a console owner of the next gen of Xbox One and PlayStation 4, then you're an action RPG fan. This is going to be the game for you, because you've got everything, you've waited at this point, and now you get to play one of the best action RPGs from Blizzard, a company that knows how to make these damn games if it finally comes to a console. And this is something that shouldn't be missed. This is John Ott, SportsDayInTheD. You can get at me facebook.com/2ugunslinger, at shoutengine.com/SportsDayInTheD. Let me know what you think about Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, and let me know if you've enjoyed it, because I'd really like to play some online co-op with you.